again. And I have food in my mouth. Because one thing I will not do is waste time trying to make something work that's not working. So they'll all migrate over here in a second. That is like really infuriating. I mean, you know, also I'm probably going to lose people by constantly having problems. But it's fine. Yay! Let me take these rubber bands off. Okay. Yeah, I'll just have to start using StreamYard, that's fine. Oh. Okay. Folks should be migrating over here. I did say in the last email that if there were tech errors again, we're just gonna do it this way or go on the other platforms. Okay, let me go ahead and go here and then just okay, you all.
She's the teacher.
Oh, only one person's on here. Let me try and make sure the other folks are directed over here. Let's see. Let's go on here. We're gonna go to our other live stream and make sure that it's deleted so that you guys know to come over to this one instead. Okay, if I go to content. Alrighty, y'all. Oh, it's still showing that the other one is upcoming. That's hilarious. So people are going to be on the other one. Let me just go ahead and just delete it. Because I don't think you can go live on two different things. Okay, y'all. Okay, so the other live stream has been deleted, so we should be good, and I should be able to see everybody on here in a second, because it is going to violently kick them off. Even if they're waiting on there, it'll send them over here, which is fine. So, like I said, guys, we work things out piece by piece, moment by moment, and unfortunately, sometimes things just don't function the way that I'd like them to. But it's okay. Excuse me, it's okay because we're going to be also using StreamYard, so it'll still be on YouTube, but it'll be a little bit easier. I'm sorry, y'all, excuse me. But it should also give you a way to like join, and I'll be able to have some of you all talk and be able to hear you, etc., etc. Only problem is I can't screen share on here again, which is a little bit frustrating, but again, day by day. I am, but I can't screen share on a live. I can pull up like pictures sometimes, but it's not quite the same. But we are also on here.
Put a link to whatever you're trying to screen share in the chat.
That means I still have to have a way for it to be online, but it's okay. All right, you all. We're also on TikTok now for any of the other folks that couldn't go on. Mom, I don't know what you're saying. So we're going to make sure that the rest of this is all good. Yes, we made it. Hello. Good evening. We're also about to go on here. That way we don't have to wait 20 minutes to try and get things settled, which is why I was like, let's just pop up on here. Even though, again, I don't really like the orientation of it because posting it afterwards is not going to, there we go, look the way that I want it to look. But can I ban, I don't know what you're trying to say. You're gonna have to retype that. Oops. Okay. Oh my God, the camera's in such a weird place that whenever I try and set this up, it makes it so odd. Ah, okay. That is okay though. So I'm gonna try and set this like this. I don't know why Do Not Disturb just came on. I did not ask for that. Okay, y'all, I'm going to make sure that everybody can hear and see before I start talking. I want to make sure that everybody is able to be on all of these platforms. We're going to go off of that and make sure that TikTok is loading as well. Are you loading? Yay. Okay, awesome. All right, we're going to give TikToky just a second because it is having issues. I think also today, just in general, sometimes real Wi-Fi can just be very unhelpful. And today seems to be one of those days where it's just gonna kind of be uncooperative. Hi. Okay, we have a yellow light on TikTok. So hopefully that will mean that we're good to go. All right, we have a green light on TikTok. Yay! Okay, everyone. Hello. If this is your first time on, I'm Abiel Agoro, and I am your instructor for this course. So, in the midst of still trying to figure things out, make sure that things are functioning, YouTube is still deciding to play in my face today, but we're on, I just can't screen share on here because I'm on my iPad, so it seems to be somewhat of a device-based issue. We'll have to figure out what's going on with that, but at least you all are able to be on here. It'll be replayed, reshared. I'm hoping there's a way that I can kind of cut off the beginning also whenever we're kind of just being silly and adjusting. Those of you on TikTok, can you hear all right? Let me send and make sure. All right, so today I really wanted to kind of step back a little bit and go over what I think is going to be really useful in terms of looking at how we are going to be approaching the rest of, you know, the upcoming semester, quote unquote, and really trying to see how folks are going to be engaging with this course, explanations, you know, so on and so forth. I'm still not saying if the video is okay on here. And for those of you who are on YouTube as well, especially, typically, again, you will be able to see the presentations. I'm looking into StreamYard because StreamYard will help do third party through YouTube. So it should be a little bit more organized because I won't have to go directly to the YouTube platform and it won't have the same amount of problems. Oh no, it's choppy on here. Okay, hold on, y'all. I hate connection issues so much. It's kind of one of the most annoying types of problems to me is connection and Wi-Fi issues. So we'll see if this is better, y'all. I just switched Wi-Fis. So with that being said, I did decide to go ahead and extend out the course. Let me know if this is better, you all on TikTok, and make it to where we're actually going to have more than just 4 classes throughout February, but have them throughout the next couple of months. Typically, for those of you who have not done like a college level course or kind of an external course, you will have semesters, and typically those semesters will run from about January to either, it depends on the course, but sometimes April, sometimes May, sometimes June. I've kind of seen all of them. Oh, TikTok is better now? Yay! Is YouTube working all right for y'all? Let me know. Lovely. So when it comes to that, I wanted to go ahead and extend it out because I figured since there's a high level of interest, it is going to be helpful and useful not only for me, but for y'all, and I can kind of extend the rest of the programming. So with that being said, in the email that I sent out, I talked about the fact that this is actually going to be going from here until April. And with that being kind of the new directive, it gives a little bit more time, I think, to go in depth on some of the topics. Now, because of that, we're going to have a lot more opportunity to especially be flexible whenever it comes to how we're learning and what we're learning about. And I also want to say, because again, we're a little bit all over that, if there's ever any connection issues, if things are choppy, if you can't see, please send me a message on whatever platform you're on so that way I know, so I can adjust and kind of make sure that things are, functioning as best as they can be. Because sometimes, again, real Wi-Fi, and I'll be different places sometimes, so sometimes everything is going to be crystal clear because next class, I think I'll be here next class, but then the following I'll be in like Las Vegas and I'll be in a hotel, so the Wi-Fi will be perfect. But if there's ever connection issues, please let me know on whatever platform you're on so that I can see it in the chat and know that. Now, with the extension out, we're going to have some classes, and I talked about this during office hours today, they're going to be pre-programmed. So I'll pick some dates that I know are going to be upcoming, and we'll talk about things that are relevant. So of course you have like different revolutions that happen during a certain month or day or week. And so we will try and schedule talking about some of those around those time periods. But also sometimes I think it's useful to talk about, things that have happened in the time period prior. So talking about, hey, this revolution may have happened in April, but what actually started this revolution happened in January. So we're going to talk about it in January. Obviously, January is fast. But that'll be a little bit more of the structure that I'm going to be aiming for, to try and keep things relevant, and I think in an engaging format that is going to be a lot more direct. I did send this out an email as well, and I talked about this last week, but I want to reiterate this. You will be getting a certificate for the course based on your participation, and you will be able to use that certificate as well as community service hours based on that certificate for whatever it is that you want in your life. You should be able to put it on a resume, that kind of a thing, because I do have an established 501c3 nonprofit. And so I will be able to send those out at the end, and obviously throughout this next couple of months for this specific course and programming that we're doing, giving people the opportunity to make things up. But it's not meant to be something that is with the goal of trying to chastise people, of trying to micromanage people. I think when we're talking about learning, I'd much rather you be able to digest what's happening than be freaked out about a grade. Right? Plus, technically this is not a college course, but I do want folks to be able to have a sense of accomplishment when we're coming out of it, whenever we're doing this. Now, I did email the syllabus out. If anybody didn't get it, let me know. I can't screen share, obviously, because again, life. But in it, I tried to add a little bit of description at the top and make sure that you guys had contact information that's best. The email that's going to be the best one is the one that I send the emails out of. The reply to email is learn@disturbinginequity.com. You don't need to write it down, because if you've been getting emails, it's already on there. My personal email is also one of the emails that things will come out from, but I'd much rather keep things on the academic email so that it's easier to get back to you all and actually make sure that things are being done in a very streamlined manner, because my work email is full of work things and sometimes I avoid it. So everything will be done through there. And I think something else that is also going to be really important and may potentially just really, I think, positive and like optimistic with everything that's going on is also obviously giving you guys all the tools that you need to combat this, what's going on, to be able to engage in this work more successfully. This is going to be a learning experience because I have not done a semester-long course. I don't think I've ever taught a semester-long course. I've done individual courses that people could kind of engage in that were throughout a few different months, but not something that was one consistent course this long. So it'll also be kind of a unique experience, combining all the work I've done in the past with you all on this experience. So we will be engaging on it together and moving forward and learning. Now, the reading materials are going to vary. Tonight, I'm going to send out an assignment that will be watching a documentary of your choice. I have about 3 or 4 options. I want to make sure that they all are easy to watch online, though, because of the fact that obviously people shouldn't have to have a certain platform to watch them. So I want to make sure that each one is going to give you easy access. These are documentaries that are really important and useful, and in general, I think an easier way of learning for a lot of people. And so throughout everything that we're going to be doing, sometimes I'll have reading things. Reading is, important. You have to read things sometimes to digest them in a certain way, but also being able to kind of meet the moment and give people that mixed media format. So things will always be available in a wide breadth. If anybody has an accessibility issue, I encourage you to please let me know. you know, I don't have it in like a specific budget to like have a sign language interpreter, but if I know that there's a program or something that I can find and get, and especially do it on like a low budget or a free format, I will always do that. If you can't get to something, let me know, that kind of thing. I see the, dang it, why can't I see the messages? There we go. I know a bootleg website. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Please let me know, because some of the websites I used to use like 123 Movies and some of those, but they've gotten, multiple have gotten banned, and you can't see some things on there. So, oh no, choppy connection again. Ah, I'm so sorry, TikTok. Y'all are just in the trenches today. But so something else that I think is going to be important. Let me know if anybody else is having the choppy connection issue. Something else I think is going to be really important also is really making sure that obviously all the materials are very easily accessible. I am going to try and send out a list of all of the different types of websites that I use to get things for free. Sometimes it's just a matter of searching. I'm very good at finding free books online and free copies of books. I say I can probably find a copy of 90% of the books that I aim to find. But I also have a very specific art of Googling that I realize is not necessarily normal in being able to find those kinds of PDFs and links and downloads. On top of that, though, there are some great library resources that are linked in the PDF that I sent out earlier today. And you typically can find most things on there, and a lot of libraries will have online access that you'll be able to use without necessarily having to have like anything paid. Library cards are almost always free, and people have been heavily encouraging people for the last few months to get library cards. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to also kind of help spark folks' interest. Many of the books on Libby, perfect. Yes, Libby is always a great option. Yeah, both on both platforms, you guys both sent Libby. Yes, so you should be able to find those formats as well. And so I'm trying to finish finalizing a list of like all the resources that I use, that other people use, to get things for free. Of course, I always reiterate, if you are financially stable enough, please buy the books of the authors that are still alive, because every like dollar works and is helpful, and it means so much to those authors. But if the authors passed away, I almost always encourage you to just get it for free. And I could go into that and like the ethics of that, but I feel like I have a very non-traditional ethical format that sometimes people don't like, but I think it's realistic, especially when we're talking about revolution work. People often will get stuck in little things, but a lot of these revolutionaries, they wouldn't want you to get caught up on not being able to get a book because you're having to pay $45 for it once they're dead. I promise you they don't care. I promise you they don't care. So I'll have a list of those. There are also some other great like apps and websites that I have that I've developed some resources on and combined with some other folks. Internet Archive is a great one. So like I said, I don't want to talk too much. All of those things will be in an email, so you will have all of those things. You do not have to worry about them. I will send them in links. Now, with that being said, I talked a little bit about this in the email as well, but today is just kind of chill, calm, just going over things, resettling. I will try and finalize the programming that I'm supposed to use for having this. That way you guys have everything in a centralized location. If that doesn't happen, I will resort to Google Docs, which I do not want to do with Google Drive, but that way at least you guys will be able to get everything all together. But until then, you have emails, and most of the time, like an assignment, it's going to be emailed to you, and you'll have an automatic reply that you'll be able to send back. That will be really, 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 really simple. Really simple. And so again, the biggest thing is access and trying to make sure you have both of those things. Any questions about anything I've said so far? Any questions about the syllabus so far? While you guys are potentially thinking of questions and typing them, you can always email them. I also believe that Tuesdays is probably what we're going to stick with, but I said this at the beginning, I will have a mixed format where occasionally people that are international or just on different time zones or have work schedules that conflict will have makeup classes where you all are going to be able to go vote on a link and find a day and time that works, and it might not be perfect, but hopefully I can find another day throughout the week and another time that will help get most folks that are interested kind of on there. Shelby Belfast, question, is there a book or a couple of books we should get first, or should we get them all now? You can do either way. I'm one of those people, I don't mind when people read ahead, quite honestly. I think it can be useful. If you're financially stable, I would say you can go ahead and get them all now because I think there are sales for Black History Month across multiple platforms. So you might be able to get some of them at a lower price for that. Again, I think also if you have to get it through like a platform like Amazon, et cetera, then do that. Like if that's what you need to do that. If you can get it through the platforms that I suggested on there that go back to certain bookstores, please do that. But if you are going to use another platform, then, you know, try and follow the authors online, et cetera, to at least help bump them up that way. But yes, you can get all of it now if you'd like. Audiobooks. I didn't even think about adding audiobooks on that list. Audiobooks are a godsend. Somebody sent on YouTube. So I will also add that in there. So for assignments, it's almost always going to be just email because I personally don't like a lot of the other like systems where you have to upload things. I think a lot of times you have a lot of problems trying to upload like projects and things. I just find email to be so much easier because it's clear, it's streamlined, it's all in one place. You don't have to stress about it. You don't have to log in anywhere. You can just send it back. So I am planning on using email. If that changes, if the software is easy and we all adjust to it well and I adjust to it well and, you know, we have less glitches, then we'll do that. But I am hoping for now to just stick with email. Email is my to-do list. Yeah, I just, you know, there's certain things I like doing on emails and I think it's just much more, it's just easier. It's accessible, right? Like, you know, it's faster. You don't have to, the logging in part sometimes is what gets me for things. It just, logging in exhausts me sometimes. You were able to find them all through Audioblocks. Audiobooks. I love that. Yes, and yeah, obviously get audiobooks. The only time that I would say you might need to look at what it is if it has a primary source in it. And typically you'll still be able to like see that sometimes because I know sometimes audiobooks will give you like some of the pictures. I've seen it a couple of times where they'll give you the pictures that are in the book. So sometimes you might need to look at the primary source, but whatever way you're learning is perfectly fine. And if not, I'll try and like make sure that I send an email out with those primary sources attached. Yeah, you have notifications turned off. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, email is just so much easier. But so some of the primary sources, most of the time they're not going to be too long. The longest primary source, and by primary source, for anybody who doesn't know what that means, it's a source that is very literally the first, right? So it's a direct account of whatever you're going to have. So when you have a primary source, it would be, say, like the Declaration of Independence. We know that that is not an interpretation of a source. It is the source. It's a document. It's established. Sorry, I keep scratching at my nose today. It's a document. It's established. And it is unquestionably what you need to be looking at historically when you're talking about that document, right? A secondary source is somebody's essentially interpretation of that first source or their telling of that first source. So somebody's, you know, great grandparent telling you about their parent being at the signing of the Declaration of Independence and maybe writing a book about that account. That's a second source. A tertiary source, which is a third source, is a source of a source. And, you know, when it comes to the extensions of these things, when we talk especially about enslaved stories or histories where people could not necessarily read or write, a lot of times you're going to have things that are through secondary sources. Sometimes we can have primary sources, but they're probably not going to be written. And sometimes it can be useful because you have things like artwork and et cetera, that can be really wonderful. But a lot of things are going to, unfortunately, sometimes be secondary sources. With that being said, I do love looking at primary sources anytime possible. But the point of all that I was saying is that most of the time they're not going to be long. The longest primary source, it also depends on what you should call a primary source, because sometimes people would consider things after, you know, maybe they would consider things that are after maybe like the 1970s as just being like information and not really being a primary source. I don't know if I personally agree with that, but I will say that most of the time when I'm referring to something as a primary source, it probably will be before like the 2000s, because we're going to read some documents as well as CIA documents, everyone's favorite, that are going to be from, you know, the 70s, 80s, 90s, and some from the early 2000s. The longest primary source that you're probably going to have to read is some of your W.B. Du Bois work, and you're not going to have to read it all at once because the book is gigantic. I went ahead to mail some out today, and they are so expensive to mail sometimes because they're so big, but it's amazing. And that is one of the books that I think was on the presentation slide, but I didn't add it to the PDF slide yet because I needed to double check on one of the libraries that I wanted to support and direct traffic to for people that were going to purchase it. So I'll go back and add that on there, but it's called Black Reconstruction, and the book is this thick. I'd get up to go get it upstairs, but it's going to take me a minute to climb up and down the stairs. So it's like this thick. We're not going to read it all at once. We're not even going to read the whole thing because it's not necessary. People can obviously explore. Hi! But I hope that it'll be really useful and beneficial for you all. And that is from W.B. Du Bois. So that was written, when was Black Reconstruction written? 19 something. But other than that, most of the time it's going to be like short bits, and especially a lot of visuals. There's a painting I wanted to show again today. Can't quite show it, and I don't want to touch either of these devices because the internet's perfect on both these right now, and if I move them, I feel like it'll mess them up. But one of them is a painting, again, from a person that was thought to have been Nat Turner. It's actually not Nat Turner. And so we'll talk about specifically the miseducation of some of those primary sources and the misattribution of primary sources. And by that, I mean people saying that a painting that is someone that it's not. And when you think somebody is a, figure or the subject of a painting and it's not that person, it could be really harmful because of the fact that you might be taking away the history of the person that's in that painting, or you might be putting somebody that is associated with something that shouldn't be associated with that thing, especially if it has negative connotations. I've been talking so much. I'm trying to, again, I don't want to touch my computer because it's everything, these are both leaning on my computer. Like I said, today's not going to be long. I don't want to talk at you guys all day long. There were like 3 other things. In the meantime, one of the formats that I've always really liked, especially for the classes that I've taken as a undergrad, as a grad student, as, like just an independent classes that I took, is people always giving you options of you can either read, one of these items or 3 of these things out of this list. So we'll do a lot of that as well, but there are going to be some parts where you're just going to have to, you have to read a certain thing because it'll be really helpful for how you engage, or you have to watch a certain thing. And I intend for those things, again, to not be too heavily drained on. I think the week following the next, we are probably going to dive into a PDF, so you won't have to get the physical copy because it's going to be some of the journal retellings of Ida B. Wells. You can get a book, but some of the different news articles that she did, they're not going to be all in one book. So I think that's what we'll probably do the week after next, but every single time I'll let you guys know. I'll try and always have assignments for you Tuesday of. They will be due next Tuesday, and that way it gives you time to breathe and go over it. It's really not going to be that stressful because the goal is just for this to be really engaged learning. Is there anything we can do to help? Donate, sharing? Yes, always share. You can share literally everything. You can share these. I have a flyer that I posted, I think on Instagram, and I'll try and make sure that I email that out as well and attach that to the next email update that I send you all, because it will be just significantly easier for you to be able to spread that out to people. So yes, encouraging people to join the class. I just want people to learn. It means everything to me to be able to teach people things and to give them resources. So that's always helpful. Yes, you can donate. My payment apps are always on my platforms, and they are, the link that I have on everything that it redirects everybody to has all the payment information on there. I always say if you guys want to send $1, anything, any amount, I always appreciate to help contribute to this work, and especially the book cost of mailing out the books. So Venmo, Cash App are my usernames on everything because it's AHBEEOLAH. That's my username on every single thing. If you want to donate a book, you can. I have a list that I'm coming up with for people to be able to send the books to me if they want to, so I can disperse them to others, because I'm very protective over people's mailing addresses and information. But if they ever want to send things, I will take them. The book program, I try and primarily send out brand new books because it does something to me, at least, to be able to, especially if you're somebody who doesn't really read much, but especially if you don't read physical print, being able to physically hold the book that is brand new, that's yours, to me does a lot. And it's one of those things that I feel like everybody deserves to have. So I will always really want to get new books for people, especially since a lot of the books that you're going to get are going to be newer copies anyways. So yes, those are the ways you can help. You can also become a volunteer. I don't have exact tasks yet for the volunteer program because I've had to switch it a little bit. But the virtual volunteer program is probably gonna finally be launching in April, so that'll be a little bit closer to when we're wrapping up. But I've shifted that. Where will we be getting the PDF? Email. I will be emailing you guys things, and then once I decide on the platform if we aren't going to use it, things will be uploaded in a little virtual library. I also have a virtual library in the link in my bio already. Again, the link is like beacons.ai/Abiola with my username. Everything is always there. Like, I love the company because that's how I send you guys emails as well, because it's just streamlined everything I do to where I can put everything in one place. I absolutely love it. Savvy, fill out my form then if you want a physical copy. I don't think I can message it on here, but if you go on the link that again has everything on it, there is a request form and you just submit it. You'll give me your address, all the other stuff, what you're requesting, and I go through there and then I like get whatever I can that I have currently in stock and then I mail that out. So that's where you can get a physical copy if you need one, or if you just want one. So it's the link if you want it. I mean, you can go on there, but it's bit.ly and then /books from Abiola. But it's the way my name is actually spelled, not the pronunciation phonetically. But that's on everything. So you can literally, you'll be able to find it. But yes, you'll be getting the PDF through email. Okay, somebody said, did I miss the mention of the documentaries you'd like us to watch? No, you didn't miss it. They're about like 6 I want to give options for people to watch. I can't find, there's a documentary on, it's called The Summer of Soul, but I think it's only on Hulu, and I was trying to find a free version of it, and it talks about what stacks. It also talks about, Mom, what is it called?
Which one?
The festival.
The documentary?
No, it's the name of the festival. Jimi Hendrix did his rendition of Star Spangled Banner. Was that Woodstock? I think it's a Woodstock documentary. But it's like a documentary about like Black Woodstock, so it's very specific. But that's only on Hulu, so that's like one of them that I want to refer to, but I can't find it on other platforms yet. So I don't want to like. The Link for Let You Radicalize You is another book. Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Okay, let me take a screenshot of this. Yeah, Let This Radicalize You does not have a free copy because that's Mariam Kaba and she's currently alive and needs all the support she can get. So send me a message, Enemies Forever. Either you can message me on Instagram, TikTok, or you can email me and let me know. I'll resend out the new link the next email blast I send out to. But you can also just submit a book request form because I have a copy upstairs that I can send out to you. But yes, you guys didn't mention the documentaries mentioned yet, because again, I want to double check and make sure that you can actually watch them. I mean, I could just give options for if people have this streaming service to watch this one or that one, but I generally just hate people not being able to get access to things without having to jump through hoops. No problem. Any other questions or concerns so far? I will resend out the PDF, by the way, with that fixed link. But yeah, Let This Radicalize You, there's not a free copy. You can probably find one if you absolutely scour the internet, and I could find one for you, but that's one of those books that I really want people to either just get through a library virtually or through Libby, so that way Mariam Kaba also gets like the documented clicks. So that way, because even if an author doesn't sell a copy, if a library knows that, 100 people a month are reading this online, then they will get recognition for that and it'll help keep with their numbers. But if you absolutely need it, I will find you a free PDF that's downloadable. Because, again, I do believe in trying to be reasonable and accessible. Any other questions? Like I said, today was going to be short. It's going to be calm. Again, you'll get the documentary list by tomorrow at the latest. And you can pick something to watch. If I can't find the ones that I want, there are clips online of some parts of them that I might also just include. And you all will be able to use that. But I hope to always have a video as a part of whatever assignment there is. And when it comes to, I know you guys were asking about emailing. Oh, thank you, love. We're talking about Let This Radicalize You. So I prefer for people to get like a copy through the library because that's Mariam Kaba. Am I saying her name correctly? Mariam Kaba?
Miriam?
No, it's Mariambe. No, not B, sorry. Now I'm forgetting.
Mariambe?
No, I can't look it up right now. No, there's no B. I don't know why. I'm thinking Mariame. And then her last name is Kaba, Kaba. Mariam Kaba. But that's why she does a lot of work, and she's absolutely brilliant. And she hides from cameras a lot, so she does not get the recognition that she should because she's always ducking from, visibility. Any other questions? You see both the ebook and the audiobook. You found it in the library. Yay! And you can, like I said, you can submit a request at the book link. You see both the audiobook and that at the library. Wonderful. And I'm sorry that was the wrong link on the PDF. It's one of those reasons why I hate sending things out until I can look over them 45 times, but it happens. So I'll make sure that I resend it out with the new one so that you guys will be able to just click on it like the rest of the books that are on there and just automatically get redirected to it in the easiest way possible. Any other questions? And again, if you need to request a book, you can request it. Literally everything for me will always be on that Beacons link. Unless Beacons decides to absolutely just dissolve as a company, I'm set. I love them. I really enjoy their program. Like their not programming. Yeah, their programming, like the way that they actually like structure the apps online. You're welcome. Thank you. I'm glad you guys want to be a part of this. Okay, 3 more minutes for any questions. The classes will typically be about an hour. Sometimes I might talk longer. I'm going to try not to. But on a day like today, where especially we're just readjusting because of the little errors, I would much rather just keep it short so that you guys can go about your day and enjoy yourself and, marinate and deal with whatever. And it gives me more time to go sit down and make sure that I can send you all the information. Any other questions? You can always email the questions too, but I know sometimes it's much easier to get like a automatic live response back from somebody than doing anything else. All right, well, don't forget that Tuesdays are also the class days for the most part. We're going to switch days occasionally in a month or so, and I'll have all those listed out. I think it'll be fun to have some variety. But other than that, the office hours are on Tuesdays. They are from, well, I don't need to have an hour and a half because people didn't come for the first half, which is totally fine. So they'll just be probably from about noon to 1 now, my time Central time in the US. And so that will be hopefully enough time for people to pop in, kind of get a heads up on anything else that's going to be coming. Typically these classes won't be this casual because I will have a presentation, but they'll still be relatively calm and chill and just like a breathable environment. But the office hours will always be very, very calm because I will be doing random things while I'm waiting for people to hop on. So they'll be a little bit sillier. I think that's it. So I appreciate y'all too. Thank you for y'all's kind words. Y'all are very sweet. And let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to send me anything and look forward to more emails in your inboxes. Thank y'all for being absolutely amazing. And I will talk to y'all in the emails. Mwah. Oh, confirmed assignment will be emailed and due next Tuesday. Yes, it'll be due next Tuesday. And it's not, all you're going to do is just send me a little summary about what you watched. So it'll be easy, chill, no stress. I'll send an email. Thank you all. Bye.